September 27th, 1986. The city of Cleveland releases 1.5 million balloons into the sky at the exact same moment. For about 2 minutes, it is the most beautiful thing the city has ever done. Then the balloons came back. All of them. This is Oops History. True stories that sound fake. Today, Balloon Fest 86. Some context. By the 1980s, Cleveland had a reputation problem. The river had caught fire, the city had defaulted on its loans, and the nickname going around was the mistake on the lake. So the local United Way chapter had an idea, a charity fundraiser so spectacular it would rebrand the entire city. Something joyful, something record-breaking. The year before, Disneyland had set a world record by releasing about 1 million balloons. Cleveland looked at the happiest place on earth and said, "Hold my helium." The target, 1.5 million balloons, released all at once from Public Square, right in the middle of downtown. The fundraiser part. People sponsored balloons, the money went to charity, and Cleveland would get a world record and a glamour shot. On paper, everybody wins. Keep "on paper" in mind. The preparation took months. Organizers built a giant net structure over Public Square, basically a 3-story mesh box, to hold the balloons down until the big moment. Underneath it, about 2,500 volunteers spent hours filling balloons. Witnesses described the inside as a slow-motion blizzard of latex. Then, on the big day, a problem appeared on the radar. Literally, a rain front was rolling in across Lake Erie, headed straight for downtown. The organizers had a choice: cancel months of work or release early, before the storm arrived. They released early, and in fairness, it was breathtaking. 1.5 million balloons boiled out of the net and swallowed Terminal Tower like a lava lamp in reverse. For one moment, Cleveland looked like actual magic. Quick physics briefing. A helium balloon rises because it is lighter than the air around it. Cold air and rain make it heavier. The balloons flew directly into cold air and rain. So instead of sailing off toward the stratosphere, they stalled over the city, cooled down, got wet, and started coming back down. Downtown, it stopped feeling like a parade and started feeling like weather. Balloon weather. They came down everywhere, on streets, on rooftops, on highways, where, according to accounts, drivers swerved to dodge waves of rolling balloons. And they came down on Lake Erie. Remember Lake Erie? Burke Lakefront Airport had to close a runway because it was carpeted in latex. Planes could not land, in Cleveland, because of a charity party a mile away. Out in the countryside, a pasture of prized Arabian horses saw the sky falling in 1,000 colors and panicked. Several were injured, and their owners sued. The balloons were now generating lawsuits on dissent. And now the part of this story that is not funny, so I won't pretend it is. The day before the release, 2 fishermen, Raymond Broderick and Bernard Sulzer, had gone out on Lake Erie and not come home. Their boat was found near a breakwall, and the Coast Guard went looking for them. But by then, the water was carpeted with balloons, horizon to horizon. And from a boat or a helicopter, a bobbing balloon and a man's head look almost identical. The search was suspended. Both men later washed ashore. One of their widows sued United Way for $3.2 million, and the case was settled. A charity stunt had tangled itself into a fatal search and rescue. Nobody planned that, which is exactly the problem with releasing 1.5 million of anything. For weeks, balloons washed up on the shores of Lake Erie, the American side and the Canadian side. Cleveland had managed to export its mistake internationally. And here's the ending history, wrote all by itself. Guinness certified it. Cleveland officially held the world record for the largest balloon release of all time. Then Guinness retired the category, because encouraging a sequel seemed unwise. Cleveland holds the record forever, specifically because nobody is allowed to try again. Time for the damage report. Balloons released. About 1.5 million. Time spent airborne. Minutes. Airport runways closed. 1. Horses injured. Several, plus 1 lawsuit. Claims filed, including one for $3.2 million, settled. Countries that received balloon litter, 2. Attempts on this record since 1986, 0. Cleveland set out to beat Disneyland, and technically it did. It just also beat itself. Subscribe. There is unfortunately plenty more where this came from.